My name is Brianna McCumber. As far as what happened to my vehicle, I still haven't 100% figured out exactly what caused all of the damages. I know I was driving down Webb Road. Next thing I know, my car jolts. I thought I just blew out 2 tires. Go and get my tires swapped out. My steering wheel is cockeyed. So I'm like, okay, we know it's not that. Take it to a mechanic. We thought it was just the strut. I opened up a claim to help me just with paying for all of it, because at that point I'd already spent $1,000 in tires. Insurance starts fighting back and wanted to replace the entire front hand knee assembly on my car. Talked to the mechanic and they're like, you don't want to do that, because they're wanting to use a repurposed part, I think is the word they used. But it was off a salvaged car that had over 1.5 times the miles as my car did. Mechanic wasn't getting any luck pushing back. So they finally get a hold of me and they're like, this is where you need to go. I'd actually never heard of Best Body Shop before. So I'm like, all right, take their word for it. Immediately from the time the mechanic had actually reached out to Best Body Shop to the time I got my car towed here, I showed up. They were already familiar with my case, knew exactly what was going on from the mechanic, had somebody waiting to greet me when I walked in the door, ready to take me on a tour, even though I showed up 5 minutes from closing. So it was like, blew my mind. And I'm used to been around manufacturing my whole life, have a really strong lean background. I'm expecting to walk in and see your average shop where things a mess, it's dirty, it's, your typical garage, right? No, I walk out there and it's amazing and everything has its dedicated place and their own storage racks and every bay is outlined and labeled, and my nerdy 5S lean brain is just blown going, this is great. And he's showing me the monitoring system. So instantly I feel comfortable leaving my car there. And I'm like, this is gonna be great. And they explain the Monday, Wednesday, Friday calls. And at first I was like, that seems like overkill, call me if you need me. But if that's a system that works perfect. Turns out I absolutely loved that fact that they were doing it, because it ended up being a fight with insurance the whole time. Especially with the holidays and everything that my car was here over. Once they got in, they ended up catching damages on my car that the mechanic didn't even catch. And my steering tie rod was bent. So that had to be replaced. So they had to go to insurance and explain that. And then when I got my supplement in, my supplement was shorted on a bunch of information. And so just having them in my corner to walk me through all of that, and when we could finally get everybody to communicate over email, even having them be on the email so they could respond back and even help drive some of that communication as far as, when they're trying to tell me to pay, go ahead and pay everything out of pocket, and then they'll help me with reimbursing later. And I'm able to be on the phone call with Best Body Shop and they're telling me, you don't want to do that. That's not how this process should go. And I'm like, thank you so much, because I've obviously not had a ton of car claims, so I don't know what that process is. So it ended up just being awesome. They helped me through it all. Finally got to the point where we could get the correct check issued, because originally, my insurance didn't even want to issue a check in the correct name, which I wouldn't have even caught had Best Body Shop not been on the emails to be able to go, hey, that isn't even the name of our company. So it was great having them included in all of it, just because it made the process go a lot smoother, a lot easier. They were able to advise me when things needed to get escalated and how to escalate that so that I could get it resolved. Because at that point, I was already out of my rental car coverage. I'm covering my own rentals. And so my bills are escalating and I'm freaking out going, what am I supposed to do? And they're just really great and cool, calm and collected the whole time. And I could look forward to that Monday, Wednesday, Friday check-in where maybe I'm starting to panic going, what do I do next? And they're like, no, we got this. This is what you do next. And if we don't get a response, then this is what we do. Especially as someone who wasn't familiar with Wichita before this, one of the best things that I got was being recommended to go to Best Body Shop. It was amazing with the experience that I had. I would highly recommend to anybody else go to Best Body Shop. Just the experience I had was great. I think anybody else would be treated the exact same and have a wonderful experience too.